Hello, this is Guillem Godoy, and with this video, I continue a series where I try to explain the basics of programming with Android Studio. So far, in all previous videos, we have always used one activity. We have always created a new project with an empty activity, and this activity has served us to manage all the layout. Well, in general, when a project is not so small, we will want to have like different views or different layouts, and it's good practice to have a different controller for each of them. And this role of controlling a particular layout is usually played by an activity. Okay? Well, our approach today, or our target or our goal, is to create a program with a main menu. And from this menu, we will be able to jump to two possible extra views or layouts. In one of them, we will simply conduct the task of telling hello to the user. And in the other one, we will conduct also another simple task, which will consist in asking the user to numbers and producing the sum of them as output. Okay. At the main menu, we will also ask the user what's his name, his username, and we will pass this information to each of those two subactivities so that they can make use of it. Okay. Well, so let's go ahead. I've already created a new project and with an empty activity, and as we usually do, I'm gonna ignore this set content view because we're gonna create the layout programmatically. Well, we will put everything inside a linear layout. Okay, and as I said, we will need a couple of buttons. For example, a button for jumping to the tell hello activity, and another one for jumping to the sum activity. Okay. We will also want, for example, a text view for asking the user. Telling the user that he has to give us his name. For that, we need an edit text where he or she can type his or her name. And well, maybe I don't know if I'm forgetting something, but okay, let's carry on. We need to declare everything. So we need linear layout. We need text, a new text view. In this text view, we will ask the user, okay, please, let's do this short. Write your name, and choose a task. Okay, well, let's make this big enough. So set text size to 20, and we add this text view to the linear layout. Now, yeah, we create the edit text, and we add it to the linear layout. We create the first button. Okay, this button will let us, I mean, the user presses this button. Sorry. We will jump to a new activity, which is the tell hello activity. So, okay, this button serves for running the task tell hello. Okay. So we add it to the linear layout, and the BT zoom is also to be created. In this case, its text will be complete zoom. Yeah, okay, let's put this in lowercase, and we add it to the linear layout. Okay, let's set this linear layout with a vertical orientation. Yeah, and okay, we will center it too. And finally, sorry. Okay, I think this is all. We have the text view. We have the edit text. Okay, let's check that this is working so far. Yeah, takes a while. Well, finally. Well, so far these buttons don't do anything. So we need to address that. Okay, as I told you before, the purpose of those buttons is to launch new activities. So I'm gonna create, for example, the tell hello or hello activity or subactivity. Yeah, for that we need to go to the menu, to the file menu, choose new. Inside it, choose activity, and in this case I'm gonna choose empty activity. Okay, I'm gonna call this activity hello. Okay, I press finish now, and after that I have 2 new files, the hello.java and the corresponding XML, but we are going to ignore it similarly to before, because we will create its corresponding layout programmatically. Okay. Well, now for the hello activity, yeah, we ignore the set content view, and the purpose of this task is to tell hello to the user. Yeah, okay. The idea then is from the main activity, we will need to call or to launch this subactivity, passing as information what is written in this edit text. Okay. Okay, we have this edit text here globally, but this information, I mean, the name, the username, we will have to be pasted also to the other activity when it is launched. I mean, the sum activity, maybe for being used in another way. Okay. And well, since similar things must be done with both buttons, we're gonna try to generalize what we must do with a new function. So in this case, we're gonna call it, maybe we could create the buttons just here. Okay, instead of creating them in the main onCreate function. Okay, what we need for a button is on the one side the text, but also we will need what new activity we need to call once this button is created. Okay. Well, for that we will need the yeah. Let me check. Yeah. Okay. Wait a sec. Yeah, we will need on the one side to pass the context. Okay, let's call it this, and we will also well, no, maybe do this. Let's do this different. Whenever we need to call to launch a new activity, we need to use a special object which is called an intent. It's like okay, an intention of launching a new activity. Okay, we need to do some imports here. Well, so I'm gonna move here the creation of the button. Sorry, that's why we need to return the button here. And for each, we need to pass the context. We set the text for this button, and now we're gonna create the onClick listener. I mean, what is run once the button is clicked. Okay, and what we're gonna do here is to launch the sorry. Yeah, wait a sec. Sorry. Yeah, okay, sorry, was not remembering the exact call. Yeah, we want here to start the activity that is defined by this intent, okay? Well, so that's it. The button, needs the text, the on-click listener, and we, as a consequence of being clicked, we start the activity which is defined by this intent. Okay. Well, so here we return the button that we just created. So I'm gonna change, for example, here. Instead of creating this new button, we're gonna create it with our function, and this function needs the string that goes with that is displayed in the button, the label, and also we need to create an intent that it is somehow the description necessary to launch this new activity. It needs a context and also the class that needs to be instantiated in order the class that corresponds to this new activity. In our case, this class is the hello class. Okay. Well, so yeah, we need to define it in this way. Okay. Well, okay, let's define a little bit in more detail what we are doing once this activity, the hello activity, is launched. Here we want just to tell the user hello. Okay, so for that we need text view. And we need the yeah, okay, I'm gonna put it inside a linear layout. So I add text view. Yeah, maybe it's good to set similar text size as before. Okay, and I set as content, as content view the linear layout. Okay, but now we need to fill the text of the text view with hello plus the username. This username must be passed from the main activity somehow, and that's what we are gonna try to do. This username, okay, let's call it okay. Okay, let's before calling the intent, um, yeah, let's let's read the text that is kept in this edit text here. Okay, and now we want to pass this information to the intent. Well, there are several ways to pass information, but one of them is calling to this extra function, which receives two parameters. Actually, in this way, we can define a mapping from string to string. So the first parameter is the name of the key name, and the second parameter is the value. With put extra, we can define like a dictionary, a list of pairs, key value. Okay, so username is the key, and the value is this text. Okay, the text that we just read from the edit text. Okay, now this information must be received here, but we can just okay, we need to get the current intent, and from it we can get uh, the the value which is associated to the key username. Okay, so in this way, okay, the idea is to tell hello the value that has been passed to us. Okay, this dictionary, okay, that comes with the intent. Well, so let's see if this is working so far. It takes some time. Okay. Okay, so apparently it works. We have uh, written hello and the corresponding username. Yeah, maybe yeah, I'm gonna center this. Gonna tell it to center it. Okay, to orient it vertically, though in this case it's not. I mean, we have only one element here, and also to set gravity horizontal. Okay, well, let's try it again. Okay, so that's it. Well, now okay, wait a sec. Well, now in a similar way, we're going to create a second activity, the activity that let the user sum two numbers. Okay, so again, I go to File, New, Activity, and choose Empty Activity. And in this case, I'm going to call it Sum. Okay, here it is. Um, Okay, in this case, we will okay, for example, I'll use a text view to let the user know that he or she has to type two numbers and press the button in order to sum them. Okay, so the text is yeah, write two numbers and press the button. Okay, I'll add this to a linear layout. Which okay, this linear layout will be set as content view. Okay, before I forget, I will set its orientation as vertical and its gravity as center, horizontal, and okay, I need to edit text for letting the user write the numbers. And finally, we need a button. Well, not finally, we will need something else, but okay, the text of this button is, for example, compute soon. Okay, we will need, okay, we need another text view in order to write the result. Sorry, it seems to me that I forgot to add the button as view, and also the res text view. Okay, and now what it remains to be done is to define the on-click listener. Okay, okay. What do we have to do? Oh, I forgot. I've also forgotten to make use of the username. The username that we have been passed. So maybe we could make use of it here. Okay, let me read it here. For example, username. This is the same as before. Okay, and now we can politely address the user by his or her name. Write two numbers and press the button. Okay, whoever you are, write two numbers and press the button. And now, once the button is pressed, okay, I need to get the values of the two edit texts. Let me do this with an extra function. I mean, okay, for example, value1 is get value from the first edit text. Okay, and those two values, or the sum of them, must be written. Well, let's compute it. And now the result we set as text this value, but transform to string. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, we need to define the get value function, which receives an edit text, and okay, first we get the text of this edit text, and now we need to get the value. For that, we need to parse this text. Okay, this might give rise to an exception if this text doesn't represent an integer. Okay, so yeah, we should enclose this with a try and catch. Example. Okay, let me check the exact name. Okay, so we need here a number format exception. Okay, we will do when this wrongly represented number is, for example, we will set it to 0. So in the end, this function returns a value either case. Okay, well, so it seems that we are done here. I've not forgotten anything. Yeah, maybe yeah, it remains to create the button in this way when it comes to the second activity. So again, here, instead of creating this button directly, we create it with the function create button. In this case, it's compute sum. Pass compute sum as the string and an intent for which we need to pass in this case, the name of the other class, which is sum here. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Well, so let's see if everything went. Oh, sorry, I forgot also. Okay, similarly to before, we wanted to Okay, in order to be consistent with the sizes, we set this size to 20, and also analogously with this one. Okay, yeah, I don't know if I've forgotten something. Let's see. Yeah, we need to be patient. This process is slow at times. Okay, what we have above doesn't seem very centered, but maybe that's the best it can do. And this seems to be working, right? Okay, now let's pay attention. As you see at the bottom left corner of the screen of the device, we have the classical backwards button, which lets us to come back to the main activity. But there's another way to ask Android Studio to add a backwards button to the top. Okay, and for that, I mean, we don't need to define this explicitly. For that, we need to go to the manifests. To the Android manifests file. As you can see here, automatically the information about the existing activities has been added. This is to let the system know that these activities can be launched, and we can, for example, in the case of the Zoom activity, we can let it know which is its parent activity, and we can choose among the existing ones. I'm choosing main activity as the parent activity, and similarly, we can proceed similarly with the hello activity. So in this way, we're letting the system know that the main activity is the corresponding parent of those two activities. So it will automatically manage the addition of a backwards button at the top of each of those corresponding layouts. Okay, well, so let's try to run it again. So, sorry. So you're right here, our username again. We go to tell hello, and as you can see, at the top we have a backwards button which has been added automatically. Okay, in contrast to before, this backwards button restarts the father activity, so that we have lost the information about our username. Okay, this is okay. This is different to when it happens if I press the button at the bottom left corner. In this case, it is keeping our previous context. Okay, well, this is what we are offered automatically, and it's up to us as programmers or developers to decide whether to make use of it or not. Okay, well, so I'm gonna, sorry, I'm gonna leave it here. But before I go, I wanna propose you to, in order to practice, to conduct, or to create a new project with a main menu, and this menu will let the user jump to some subactivities, and you can put each of those subactivities things that you have programmed beforehand, corresponding to things that we have developed in previous videos. For example, remember that in a particular video, we programmed the tic-tac-toe game. So the tic-tac-toe could be one of those subactivities. And we also, or well, I didn't do that in one of those videos, but I proposed as an exercise for you to develop the Connect for video game. So you could add the Connect for as another subactivity. And also we have a video where we let the user play the classical Sudoku game. So that could be another option. So we would have a main menu with three options, with three games where he can choose to play. But in order to make it more interesting, for example, for both the tic-tac-toe and the Connect 4, since these are two-player games, it could be interesting to have an intermediate activity that asks the user to write the names of the two players and then make use of those names in both the tic-tac-toe and the Connect 4. For example, telling the user who's the term, okay, whether the first username or the second one. Okay, yeah, for the case of the Sudoku, maybe it's not necessary since it's a one-player game, but eventually you could add an intermediate activity where the user is asked about the name of the person who's gonna play, just in case we want to make use of it during the Sudoku match, okay, or the Sudoku game. Well, so yeah, I encourage you to try this. If you already programmed these things from previous videos, then you can take advantage of it and do these changes here. So you're like building a more complete project, including all previous ones. Okay, that lets us to create a more interesting project that involves all we have learned before. Okay, so well, that's it. I hope you made the most, or you can make the most of this, and see you in future videos. Okay, goodbye and see you soon.